Freedom, everybody's talking about freedom. Yeah, freedom, it's really been the theme of the week. I don't know if you've seen the highlights from the Democratic National Convention, the DNC, or not, but in that convention, they talk really at length about freedom. And of course, when they're talking about freedom, they're talking about political freedom, social freedom, and really personal freedom, right? But I'm here to suggest that there's even more important freedom, and that's the subject of this week's Weekly Wisdom Bite. Weekly Wisdom Bites are bite-sized meditation pointers that are specifically designed to uplevel your meditation practice so that you regularly experience profound and powerful meditations. So as I said, typically when we're talking about this topic of freedom, we're talking about political freedom. We're talking about social freedoms. And really, we can sort of lump that into the category of personal freedom, right? The ability to choose how we want to live our lives, who we want to marry, what type of work we want to do, where we want to live, and the particular way in which we want to live, right? Essentially, we're talking about self-determining our own destiny. But there's an even more important freedom called inner freedom that is really the key to a fuller, deeper experience of personal freedom. And I like to really refer to this inner freedom as the space of inner sanctuary. Inner because, of course, we find it by looking within ourselves. And sanctuary because it's much like the eye of a hurricane. In that eye of the hurricane, really peace and tranquility reign, right? The dramatic winds, right? The strong winds that create so much turmoil and chaos on the bands of the storm, right? In that center, it's just clear and open. And that's much like the space of inner freedom. Right? There is a part of us that is untouched by all the drama, all the automatic negative thoughts that race and run through the mind, all the reactive emotions that show up and create so much inner turmoil and chaos. This is the space of inner sanctuary. Of course, the challenge when it comes to the space of inner sanctuary is not necessarily recognizing it. Right? We can recognize in this very moment, right now, if we just sit and be for just a few moments, we can notice that there is a peacefulness, there is a calm and tranquility that's present. The problem becomes when we try to maintain the calm and the tranquility. We often find ourselves struggling. Now, one of the simple ways that we can do this is to begin to work with various sensations. Right? I've talked in the past about the breath, but we can also use bodily sensations as touchstones and access points to that space of inner sanctuary that's free of all the turmoil. Right? We just bring our attention to various bodily sensations. Like if I bring my attention, for instance, if I'm sitting to my feet and I notice the sensation of the feet against the floor or against the soles of the shoes. I might notice also the sensation of that point of contact between the body and the chair or cushion on which the body is resting. And if I allow my attention to rest here, I'll begin to find a kind of stable quality, a grounded quality and a peaceful quality. And this is an access point for allowing us to recognize that space of inner sanctuary. So the next time you find yourself struggling, just remember this space of inner sanctuary, and that you can access this inner sanctuary, the space of inner sanctuary, through these various bodily sensations. Okay, so that is this week's Weekly Wisdom Bite. I hope you found the topic of inner freedom and the space of inner sanctuary valuable. If you did, drop a comment below. If you have any suggestions for the next episode or future episodes, drop that in the comments below as well. I'm Jeff. I'll see you next week.